Good day, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in your part of the world. This is King B News and Views with another video. So you see the title on the screen, ex-CDC director predicts bird flu pandemic, what to know. So let's get into this article by News Nation. This article released 22 hours ago. And for those of you who are subscribed to this channel, if you've been following this channel, you know that I've done quite a few videos on bird flu. So let's get into this and see what it's talking about in this latest article on bird flu. Okay. Is a bird flu pandemic imminent? Former Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Robert Redfield seems to think so. He says it's just a matter of when that will be. In the last 2 years, bird flu has been blamed for the deaths of millions of wild and domestic birds worldwide. However, it seems to have hardly touched people. Redfield told News Nation's Brian Enton on Friday that he believes bird flu will enter humans and that it could have significant mortality. He also discussed the growing concern for bird flu as the virus has been detected in dozens of cattle across the country, and the World Health Organization identified the first human death in Mexico. I really do think it's very likely that we will at some time. It's not a question of if, it's more of a question of when we will have a bird flu pandemic, Redfield said. He also noted that bird flu has a significant mortality when it enters humans compared to COVID-19. Redfield predicts the mortality is probably somewhere between 25 and 50% mortality. News Nation noted that the death rate for COVID-19 was 0.6%. What is bird flu and how does it spread? Avian influenza, commonly called bird flu, is an infection from a type of influenza virus that usually spreads in birds and other animals, according to the Cleveland Clinic. The virus usually spreads in birds, but can also infect humans if they come in contact with an infected animal's body fluid, like spit, respiratory droplets, or feces, the medical center said. It can also be spread if a human breathes in small dust particles in animal habitats or gets it into their eyes, nose, or mouth after touching animal body fluids. People who work with poultry, waterfowl, and livestock are most vulnerable to catching the virus. It's extremely rare for the virus to spread from one human to another, according to the Cleveland Clinic. What has to happen for it to spread between humans? Redfield said he knows exactly what has to happen for the bird flu virus to get to the point where it will spread to humans because he's done lab research on it. Scientists have found that 5 amino acids must change in the key receptor for bird flu to gain a propensity to bind to a human receptor and then be able to go human to human, as COVID-19 did, Redfield said. Once the virus gains the ability to attach to the human receptor and then go human to human, that's when you're going to have the pandemic, he said. As I said, I think it's just a matter of time. Redfield noted that he doesn't know how long it will take for the 5 amino acids to change, but since it is being detected in cattle herds across the country, he is a bit concerned. Researchers still don't know how the recent outbreak of bird flu spread to cattle, but the leading theory is that it has to do with milking machines that could be carrying the virus. Jenna Gulfmiller, an assistant professor of immunology and microbiology at the University of Colorado School of Medicine, said in the university's journal. She said high levels of the virus have been found in the cow's udders, and the infection appears restricted to dairy cows, which furthers this possibility. Influenza A has never been recorded like this in cows before. There's the occasional cow infected, but they are not a natural host for influenza A viruses, so this is really quite shocking to the field, she said. More than 40 cattle herds nationwide have confirmed cases to the virus. The CDC is tracking wastewater treatment sites to pinpoint where the virus is, but the agency said the general public's current risk of contracting the virus is low. How does bird flu impact humans, and should I be worried? There have been 3 confirmed human cases of bird flu this year, 1 in Texas and 2 in Michigan. All 3 were farm workers who were directly exposed to dairy cattle presumed to be infected with bird flu. The first 2 infected people reported relatively mild symptoms, including eye inflammation, state officials said. The last case, reported Friday in Michigan, had different symptoms, including upper respiratory problems, sore throat, cough, and congestion, according to the CDC. Dr. Nirav Shah, the CDC's principal deputy director, said during a news briefing, there's no indication yet that the virus is spreading from person to person, although the risk does increase with respiratory symptoms. Simply put, someone who's coughing may be more likely to transmit the virus than someone who has an eye infection like conjunctivitis, he said. Conjunctivitis is like a pink eye. The CDC is monitoring 350 people who have been exposed to infected dairy cows for flu-like symptoms. 39 people have been tested for the virus, according to agency data. The agency says the current risk of contracting the virus to the general public is low, as these cases are rare in humans. Right now, the H5N1 bird flu situation remains primarily an animal health issue. However, the CDC is watching the situation closely and taking routine preparedness and prevention measures in case this virus changes to pose a greater human health risk, the CDC said. What are the symptoms of bird flu in humans? According to the CDC, symptoms of bird flu in humans range from eye redness or mild flu-like upper respiratory symptoms to pneumonia, high fever, cough, sore throat, runny or stuffy nose, muscle or body aches, headaches, fatigue and shortness of breath, or difficulty breathing. Less common signs and symptoms include diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, or seizures, according to the agency. The bird flu vaccine is made using eggs, which has concerned some medical researchers because of the prospect that wild birds could carry the virus into the hen houses needed in vaccine production. To make raw material for an influenza vaccine, the virus is grown in millions of fertilized eggs. Sometimes it doesn't grow well, or it mutates to a degree that the vaccine product stimulates antibodies that don't neutralize the virus, or the wild virus mutates to an extent that the vaccine doesn't work against it. Now, that just don't make sense to me. My opinion, it don't make sense to me. Why are they using eggs from hens, from birds? I'm not a scientist, but I don't work in no labs, but that just kind of don't make sense to me. And according to the article, what I've read already, and videos I've done, check out my previous videos, the fact that the second person in Michigan showed different symptoms, new symptoms, where the other 2 people just was dealing with conjunctivitis, which is like pink eye. This third individual showed different brand new symptoms, shows that it is mutating already. So that's of concern. Let's continue. But a new experimental, I'm not going to say that. Let me just, again, I'm just reading, but already received a warning for this word right here. You see that? You see that word right there? See where my cursor is? That word right there. All right. But a new experimental, you see the letters, vaccine developed by researchers at the University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine could help manage the outbreak of the H5N1 virus seen in birds and cattle and also prevent human infections. Unlike other influenza inoculations, again, you know, the acronym, starting with the M, ending with the A, do not require eggs for their development. And that's the end of the article, right? And and while I'm at it, it's just a shame. I've watched plenty of people, other content creators, videos, and they almost have to create their own language to say, because if you speak the truth, then your channel gets warnings, it gets strikes, and they suspend the channels, and all we're doing is telling the truth. What is it now where we can't even talk or in my case read an article, say a certain word or say the wrong thing, next here comes a warning or you're getting a strike on your channel, and all you're doing is telling the truth. Information that you can look up, that's verified. I could see if what I'm saying is a lie, it's not true. All right, but it's the truth. You can look it up. You can go to these drug makers or these drug pushers, these drug makers' websites and read it for yourself. You can just do a search on that. Do a search on it. And read what it is for yourself. But I get a warning. Oh, can't say that. You can't say this. You can't say that. You can't say this. That's too much truth. But you got people making videos with all kind of hate speech against others. And that's okay. Right? Especially if it's against a melanated person. My people. That's okay. That's all right. No strikes, no warnings. Right? That's okay. Or hate speech against others, that's okay. Except for a certain people, that is. Right away, the channel's getting pulled. If you even say the name, your channel, you're done. Your channel's done. See how that goes? So who controls what? Who controls what? All media. All media and so-called entertainment, music, the movies, television, lies, vision, sports. Right? Just look at the ownership. Who controls what? Who's really running things in this so-called country? Right? That's why we're so heavily censored. It's easy to look to follow the breadcrumbs and see who's really behind what. A lot of the issues that we're facing today. Why they don't want the truth to be spoken? Why? What's the problem with it? What's the issue with speaking truth? Right? See, if I'm behind something and I'm doing something to harm people, I don't want nobody speaking about it and calling me out on it. I don't want nobody saying anything about what I'm doing, because I don't want my plan to be known. And if I have the power to censor people, any little truth they're speaking, I'm going to do so, because I don't want nobody to know that I'm the one who's actually behind it. See how that go? Shout out to all the brave men and women out there who's pushing forward, speaking that truth, regardless of what, right? Dealing with all the censorship. Shout out to the truth tellers. Keep pushing forward. I'm with you 100%. This is King B News and Views. Subscribe to my backup channel, King B News 2. I will be putting content on that channel as well. And I have a workout channel, King B Workouts, where you find my workout videos, as well as me still speaking truth as well while I'm working out, giving my views and talking about current events and life in general. Subscribe to that channel as well. All right. Shout out to my subscribers and each and every one of you who tuned in. You're going to find a lot of useful information. If you look at my previous videos, you need the information that you need to know. You're not going to find any nonsense on my channel. I guarantee that. Okay? And stay tuned for the next video. So remember to love yourself unconditionally. Be brave. Be brave. Because we do need to stand together and come together at some point against this wickedness. That's just the truth. We have to take a stand. Have these conversations with your groups, your loved ones. Keep them close because you're going to need each other. You need each other. And talk about your plans. Make sure you have multiple plans. So whatever situation you face, you can deal with it effectively. Because we have some times that's coming up. Okay, that we're going to have to deal with. Protect the children, protect our babies. Our children are under attack. I can't say it enough. Our women are under attack. We as a whole are under attack. But men, for all you men out there listening, it's our duty. It's our job. We have to protect our children, our babies, our loved ones, our women. It's time for men to be, for us men to be men and show what we can do. Right? They got to get through us first before they get to our women and our children and our babies. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's meant to be. And that's what it will be. So shout out to all the brave warriors out there who's taking that stand and who's willing to take that stand and be on that front line. And for all you cowards out there, well, I don't know what to say about that. Shame on you. I guess that's as mild as I can get. Right? So shout out to each and every one of you. Stay tuned. Check out my previous videos that I have on bird flu. Right? And till the next video is King B News Reviews. I don't even know if this, I don't know. I've read this article, but again, I've since I'm getting warnings now, who knows how long this video will be up. So stay tuned. Like the video, share this video, help me get this information out, help me get this truth out. So share the video as well, because more people need to know about this. I'll see you in the next video. King B out.